Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to another video, welcome to another show. Hope you guys are doing well because we're having a fantastic fucking day. This is a weird video to make. This is a video that I probably shouldn't make. It's a video that I don't know. It feels weirder to do. And if you guys know the channel, you guys know I do weird videos. You guys know that I have a tendency to do weird videos. So if I tell you it's a weird video, if the weird guy tells you it's gonna be a weird video, it's gonna be a weird video. Today we're looking at a subject, which is mafia. Why was the mafia so loved? Why was the mafia so respected? Right? So I feel that before that, right? I feel before that there's a couple of disclaimer I have to put in. I have to put in disclaimer that I don't support criminal activities. I don't support people making money on other people back. I don't support people stealing. I don't support crime being committed just for committing crime. And I don't support organized crime, right? This is not me saying I'm secretly part of the mafia. This is not me saying that. This is a disclaimer. Now again, why was the mafia so loved? Because yes, I'm sorry, it's hot today. The mafia is love. The mafia is really love. Well, I think there's a couple of I think there's a couple of reasons, and I think we can easily check that in order. So the first one I'm gonna say is because of the portrayal of mafia. And again, please understand that I'm making this video because I'm a fan of mafia movie. I just finished watching 6 seasons of Sopranos, which in my mind, in my eyes, is one of the best show ever made. Forget about Lost. Forget about Walking Dead. Walking Dead is different. This Walking Dead is kind of fantastic, so it's hard to compare. But Soprano was one of the best show ever made. And Soprano is about mafia. Soprano is this leader of the mafia that is weak and needs to inspire respect when he doesn't respect himself. Why was the mafia so loved? It's because of the shows like Sopranos. Think about classic fucking movie like The Goodfellas, the Casino. There was another movie, The Godfather. The Godfather was incredible. You can say the movie was shit, but the actual books were really fucking good. So the portrayal of mafia was one of it was a really nice one. It was something we can, even as citizen, even as civilian, we could relate to. Now, why was the mafia loved? The mafia loved because in a really, really, really weird way, they had their own sense of honor. They had their own common sense of honor, and I do believe that is a big part of it. So, you can see criminal, right, as people who have no honor, who have no purpose. You can see some organized crime as just a bunch of people trying to get rich, right? But my perception of the mafia is one where I'm not saying the mafia in itself. There's certain country, village, where it is commonly known as a ghetto, right? And because it's a ghetto, the police won't go there, the government won't go there. So there's often criminal group, which are gangs, who take protection for the city. Am I saying they're justified to be gangs? Am I saying they're justified to make crime? No. But so what I'm saying is those people would be rendered armless. Right? The good thing about the mafia, the thing that we love about the mafia was simply that they had this code of honor. It was a family. They had this. If you see the mafia, it was a complete fucking system. You had hierarchy. You had a sense of honor. You had a sense of discipline. You had a sense of pride. The sense of pride of being part of this family. And it's again being part of this family. And you saw the mafia. You saw the yakuza, right? You saw the bikers, and it was always, and I do mean always, a feeling, a requirement of you have honor. So the mafia was like, oh, I know your father. Your father was a good guy. Your father was a good guy, so you're a good guy. You saw it, and The Goodfellas. The Goodfellas was an amazing movie. And in the movie, what is really, really awesome is, and it's again against the perception, right? So if you look at the Goodfellas movie with I don't remember Ray Liotta, which to me is a phenomenal actor. Sorry to say, I think he's phenomenal. Um, he had a sad life, but he's a phenomenal actor. If you look at the movie Goodfellas, right? The Goodfella, the father of the kid didn't treat him right. The parents of the kid didn't treat him right. If you look at Sopranos, the parents didn't treat him right. And then the mafia kind of took him under his wing because he saw a good kid, and then he made him he made him sell cigarettes, right? And there's this dichotomy, there's this duality where, and again, everything I know about the mafia is related to movie or shows. And then you got this scene where he gets caught, and then he goes to the court, and they tell him who did this, and he doesn't rat. Now you could see this as mafia using a kid, but no, it's the mafia. To me, I'm not generalizing. There's possibly people that use this kid. I'm not gonna say otherwise. I think it's disgusting. I think it's really disgusting. But it was a different era. It was a different country. It was a different mentality. It was a different culture, right? They saw the kid as somebody has promise. They didn't want to make him commit crimes, so they made him sell cigarettes so that way he could partake in activities without getting in too much trouble, right? It didn't rat, and they took care of him. And the movie, what I do love about the movie is they really cared about the character of Ray Liotta. They really cared about him. They took care of him. They took care of him as a family member. See, in the mafia, you see, my thing with that is in mafia we have this sense of family, right? We have this sense of I belong to a family. And technically, what they mean by that is the family who's in charge of the group. For example, in New Jersey, if you look at the Sopranos, they would be the Sopranos. If you look at New York, it was a complete other guys. If you look at Italy, it was a completely different person. But in Jersey, it was Soprano, right? It was Jeffrey Gagliani, which is sadly passed away. Rest in peace, dude. And Gabagool, all the Gabagool, they got to him, you know. And it's nice because you see that, and you realize that it's a sense of family, but it's a sense of people caring about each other. It's a sense of not betrayal. There's a sense of I trust you. There's a big sense of crime and it's nuts because I grew up watching Trailer Park Boys. Now, Trailer Park Boys was a group of people that organized crime, right? So they were kind of romanticizing crime. But when you look at Julian and Ricky, they cared about the park. They had morals, they had values. They were good people. They did crime. They were good people. When you look at the Goodfellas, the Casino is just a movie. I wouldn't go as far as saying it was. I think Goodfellas is a better representation of mafia. I feel the reason why I do prefer Goodfellas to Casino, I believe Goodfellas. My favorite thing is they started as a kid. So you kind of saw the person grow up, and they grow up. And what I didn't like about Goodfellas, and I'll be honest, is there's no explanation of family. So to understand the family, to really understand how it works, you have to watch The Sopranos because you get the feeling of understanding how they work, right? And it is cool that because at the end of the day, like if we saw that as a group of organized crime that had a sense of again honor, value, it's I'm coming from a place where I know as a person that crime is always going to be existing. I'm coming from a place where I know that there's always going to be people that fuck the system. With organized crime, it was more so that it was more so that you felt it because they had a sense of honor. They were safer. There's an amazing movie where I think it's The Godfather. Yeah, in The Godfather, they was like, no, we're not gonna sell drugs. We're not gonna sell drugs. We're not gonna sell drugs. And the kid of Don Corleone was always like, no, we need to sell drug, Dad. This is the new way. And his father was stuck in his ways. It was stuck in his sense of honor. It was stuck in his sense of we want to do something good. It's a weird video to make because I'm basically promoting crime itself, but I do believe that you can see the difference when I'm making this video about, okay, well, he's not promoting crime, he's not promoting the crime, he's talking about the idea of a family. And the thing is, I don't believe family. I don't believe the mafia could exist today. With social media and everything, it would be too with social media. You see, with the mafia, it was also a question of power. It was a question of bribery. It was a question of finding people you can bribe, right? You saw it in Soprano, you saw it in Casino, you saw it in Goodfella, you saw it, and I don't remember. My problem with Godfather, I read it. I read it. I didn't watch the movie. And I think nowadays with people having their camera open and on their phone and always being on social media, I don't think it would exist, right? We had a little case of mafia, which was I don't remember his name, Rizzuto, which is the mafia of Canada, right? Of Montreal. And we had a little bit of that, and it didn't work, right? And they got caught, and it didn't last. But the sense that I feel like this video is more so about the sense that a unit of people that were like-minded, a unit of people that had respect, this unit of people that made something out of themselves, right? I'm not romanticizing crime. I don't think that crime should exist. I don't think crime should exist, but I know it's going to exist forever. I don't think there's an excuse for being criminals. But you got to understand that there was a system where you would force to look at Tony Soprano, look at Tony Montana and Scarface, and if you look at the beginning, if he never had that, he would have spent his life cleaning dishes. He would have spent his life cleaning octopus, right? And then you'd say, yeah, but he kind of chose that life. He kind of chose to immigrate. Well, if you look at the story carefully, he doesn't choose to immigrate. There's this regime of Fidel Castro, which is communism, and a lot of people are suffering. And Tony Montana was like, nah, I'd rather be fucking cleaning dishes. He took an opportunity, but at the same time, even cleaning dishes would have been better than communism and Fidel Castro height or peak. And this is why I think I fell in love with the concept of this. When you look at The Sopranos, right, you see a bunch of people and there's rules, and the best thing about it is you're seeing the moral. A lot of people call Tony Soprano a sociopath, a psychopath, right? But if you look at people like Chris, I like Chrissy a lot. I fucking love Chrissy. Chrissy was a victim. Chrissy was a victim of the system. Chrissy was from a family of gangster. This whole world was gangster. Chrissy saw himself as not being able to do anything. Chrissy fell in love, a brotherly love, a fatherly love. There's this dichotomy. There's this duality where oh my god, it's complicated. It's really complicated. See, Tony Soprano, I feel like it's a recap also, but it's the way to picture things. It's really, I think it's one of the best portrayal of what happens. So Tony Soprano, main character, chef with his family, see his father as a good for nothing. His father wasn't there. His father was liked by other people, but by his family, he was never there. He never cared, right? Which sucks. Then we had the father of Chris Mofanti, and his father was like a father to Tony, and Chrissy saw Tony as his big brother. The thing is, the father of Chrissy was a drug addict, was a toxicomaniac, right? And it wasn't his fault, of course, but he was. And Chrissy saw Tony Soprano as his father. And the beauty of the relationship, this is my favorite thing in Sopranos, I'll be honest. The beauty of the relationship between Tony Soprano and Chrissy was that Chrissy had the good father when it was good. When it was bad, Tony was able to see this, and he was able to protect Chrissy. He was able to be a bigger brother, right? And it's not because if you look at Tony and his own family, he had her older sister. We don't hear about her. We got Janice, who was the favorite, right? And that sucks. And his mom was, for a lot of reasons, the reason why Tony was the way he was. But with Chrissy, he didn't take escape. And Chrissy wanted to write a script, and that was his escape. He wanted to write a script, and then it didn't work. And writing the script led to his death. Tony Soprano didn't like the way he was portrayed in that, and it's a sad thing. It's a really sad thing. Long story short, again, the idea of something. See, I think the mafia represented in a lot of fashion, represented. Okay, well, they're criminals, but they're criminals with a sense of honor. They're criminal, but they have a head upon their shoulder. They're criminal, but you know what? I kind of understand how they function. I think it's really important that we repeat ourselves and say, hey, we don't condone that. But if you were to understand, that crime is going to exist regardless. Because I'm going to tell you guys, crime is going to exist regardless. Crime was a thing in the modern age. Medieval age, sorry. Crime was a thing. If you look at the Bible, if you're religious, right? So if you look at the Bible, you see that this is one of the first calendar we had, right? And if you look at the Bible, and there was crime there. There was crime, there was rape, there was steal, there was theft, there was murderers. There was crime. Tomorrow's gonna be crime. Next month is gonna be crime. You get to choose. You get to choose the criminal. You get to choose the Joker. There's this saying. It's better to dance with the devil you know than the devil you don't know. You still dancing with the devil, you know. But yeah. Anywho, like another video. Know that I love you guys. It was a weird video to make. Thank God I did the disclaimer. Again, please understand I'm not promoting criminal activities, but it's just I was talking about this with Cappy yesterday. We were talking about how where you're from and your age and where you were born and the media that I kind of changed you and shaped you up, right? I was born in an era with Linkin Park and Eminem, where all you needed to listen to, and to this, I'm always saying, yeah, my favorite band is gonna be Linkin Park and Eminem. I think they're super talented band, but they're band I grew up with. Would it be my favorite band if I didn't grow up with them? Maybe not, right? And The Sopranos was one. The Sopranos, The Godfather. The Godfather I was too young. Casino I was too young. Godfather I was too young. It was a movie that I watched, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it. Love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.